Yes, hello to this debate now. With me in the studio I have Donald J. Trump and Mr.
Hello.
Johnson from UNICEF. Our problem today is that Trump has made a new immigrant policy called the zero tolerance policy. That means that all immigrants will be treated just as they are other criminals. All illegal immigrants break the law by trespassing, and with this new policy they will be taken in custody. The problem that has surfaced the past few weeks is that the children cannot be taken in custody. Therefore, the children and the parents will be separated. Trump, did you know that this would happen?
Yes, I knew that a few kids would be taken away from their parents, but the number is much greater than I had ever expected. I think that it's right to treat the immigrants as criminals, as they are. Those Mexicans have done nothing but destroy our beautiful country, the land of the free. They have taken our workplaces, they have started a range of gangs, and they're also the reason of all the horrendous drug abuse in this terrific country.
So you think it's all right to take children away from their parents?
No, not exactly. But I think that children shall have the opportunity to be with the parents. But it's not my fault that immigrants trespass our border. We have to take them serious, just as all other criminals, and treat them like them. As soon as we know what to do with the parents, we will bring the children back to the parents and they will get reunited.
But why don't you take some of the money you use for your overprotected border and use it for rehab and accommodation centers that can help them?
But do you really think that we are overprotecting the borders? Have you seen the footages of all the people on the other side of the border just waiting for us to let down our parades and get in the country as soon as possible? And why should we even use our hard-earned money to help them?
Well, that is a question for you, Mr. Johnson from UNICEF.
Yeah, I think it's a very, very good question, and I think it's very important that you use some of your money to help all those in need. They don't have any home, they don't have any food, they don't have anything to drink. So I think, of course, you need to give them some money so they can get something to eat or something to drink, and don't separate them from their parents. Some of them even can evolve toxic stress syndrome, so it's very, very bad for all those small kids, and some of them can even die of even stress or starvation.
Sorry, but can you define toxic stress for the viewers that don't know what it is?
Yes, of course. Toxic stress is a symptom you get in your brain that will destroy your emotions and your cognitive part of the brain.
Oh yeah, that is a big problem. Trump, what do you have to add to this?
Yes, I indeed have something to add to this problem. I do not think it is our fault that kids develop that toxic nonsense of yours. They make their own decision to flee from the country. It's even the parents' fault. I think that 9 out of 10 of the kids develop stress while they are traveling. We give them a tremendous treatment, absolutely the best, with terrific facilities, where the kids have it much better than they ever had before.
So you mean they have it much better than they had it in Honduras or in Mexico?
Indeed.
They live in cages with lights turned on 24/7, and you think it's a proper way of the human rights?
I do not know of any cages and the lights are on 24 hours in a day. I think that this is all just fake news. The media spreads fake news. The media doesn't like me. They hate me, and they are always after me and spreading those fake news. And it's still not my fault. We are giving them the best treatment as possible on this entire planet. But yet again, we had not expected that so many children would be affected by this new policy. And it's still the parents' fault that they choose to flee, even they know the consequences of fleeing.
You're throwing them in cages.
I still don't know what you're talking about. I've never heard of any cages, and there are just many children, and it's difficult to take care of them all. And I don't think you can find a treatment for so many kids anywhere in this world that's better than ours. We are the best.
I just think you proved to everybody who sees this that you are a terrible president and you don't know what you're doing.
Okay, I think that was enough for today. Thank you for joining me this fine evening, gentlemen. This has been Donald J. Trump and Mr. Johnson from UNICEF. Good night.